What's up, guys? We're here with Monday Night NFL football action for Week 14. We're going to take a deep dive on the Eagles versus Chargers. I'll give out my favorite bets against the spread and over-under, and we're going to look at a bunch of NFL player props. Also, we're going to cover the NBA Monday slate, so buckle up. We have a great video for you today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know your thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and player availability being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, we're still a little bit early on in the day. We've had some success, though. We had Seattle minus 6.5, and that was a blowout 37-9 win there for the Seahawks. Huge bounce back from Sam Darnold. He had 3 passing touchdowns, only that 1 interception in this game, and the running game continued to look very, very good there for Seattle. The Falcons, seems like they're completely cooked, guys. So is Kirk Cousins. He had a terrible performance out there. So Seattle gets us off to a great start. Unfortunately, we talked ourselves into the Washington Commanders at minus 1.5 thanks to, Jaden Daniels coming back, and that was not a great look. Nothing went right for them in this game. Felt like Washington mailed it in hard. Their defense was so bad. They made McCarthy look like a real NFL quarterback, and the biggest problem was probably that they couldn't even slow down the run. So yeah, a rough game for the Commanders. Just a bad read by us. That's going to happen apparently. That was rough. So got the Bears plus 6.5 live. Got the Rams minus 8.5. They are live as well. We had the Bengals plus 6 as our dog of the day, and that was a nice win. They end up losing that game 39-34, but we'll take the cover. Burrow had some great throws, but was also picked off twice in addition to his 4 touchdowns. Josh Allen had a great game. The real losers in this one were both defenses. Neither one of them looked very good at all. Unfortunately, we do miss out there on the Browns on the money line as our lock of the day. Another bad showing there from the Browns defense at home. Seems like that little trend that's been going on for so long isn't really in effect anymore. They just could not buy a stop. And despite Shedeur Sanders having a great day out there, albeit against probably the worst team in the NFL, but still got to give him credit where credit is due. Marched the team down the field, got that late touchdown. They just couldn't get the 2-point conversion there. And that ends up sealing their fate and our fate. So we do brick out on the lock of the day, but could still have a nice positive day if we can get the Bears and the Rams to come through for us. So still no score in that Bears game, and in the Rams game, they're up 10-7 early in the second quarter. So things still looking all right over there. So let's go ahead and dive in, guys. A pretty exciting, Monday Night Football game here to cover, and a couple games on a very short NBA slate. So we'll cover those as well. First up, we're going to look at the Philadelphia Eagles here as they go on the road to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Eagles come into this game 8-4 on the season. They're obviously still comfortably atop the NFC East. It's the NFC East, pretty terrible. I mean, the Cowboys are looking better-ish lately, but Washington and the Giants both awful. So Philly's had a pretty easy way to go there. They are coming off back-to-back losses, though. They did lose that game to the Cowboys, a very close one, and then followed it up with a 24-15 loss against the Chicago Bears. Now, in that game, they didn't get off to the best start. They were down 10-3 at halftime. That wasn't ideal. Jalen Hurts looked pretty good. 230 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked 0 times. He also did a decent job running the ball. 4 carries there for 31 yards. Good work from Jalen Hurts overall. Obviously, that 1 interception's one he would love to have back, and he did fumble the ball away once. So ball security definitely needs to be a bit of a focus here, but those are mistakes that can be cleaned up. Saquon had an okay day, only 13 carries and had 56 yards, so not bad there. Not as active in the passing game as you'd want him to see. He missed both of his 2 targets, 0 receiving yards, but A.J. Brown, a huge day, caught 10 out of his 12 targets for 132 yards and a couple of touchdown catches. Devontae Smith, 5 receptions for 48 yards, caught 5 out of 8 targets. Like, that's not amazing, but definitely numbers you could see theoretically improving this one, at least from him, if not maybe from A.J. Brown. Can't really ask the dude to do better than 132 receiving yards. That's pretty good work there. So we'll see if the Eagles offense can come with a little bit more than 15 points. That's not a very good day, obviously. Defensively, going up against a Bears team that's been kind of weirdly good. The problem wasn't Caleb Williams. The problem was they could not stop the run. They gave up a total of 281 rushing yards there against the Chicago Bears. That was pretty wild. Now, obviously, the Eagles' defense was banged up in that one. We do expect them to be quite a bit healthier in this game, so that should help. But that was concerning. That was for sure concerning. They gave up a massive amount there to the run. And Caleb Williams had an okay day against them. I mean, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked a couple times, completed around half of his passes for 154 yards. Nothing too special. But yeah, being unable to stop the run is a pretty big hole in the defense. We'll see if they've cleaned that up in this one. They're definitely going to be tested. certainly going to be tested in this one here by the Chargers. The Eagles are going to have to figure out how to stop the run in this game. Now, in terms of their injury report, it's looking very, very good offensively. We do see Lane Johnson is going to be out for this game, so they won't be at full strength there on the offensive line, but they'll be very close, so I don't think that's the end of the world. Hurts, Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, all healthy and ready to go. So that's a big, big deal there offensively, and defensively, they're fairly healthy as well. Jalen Carter being out for this game is not ideal. He will not be playing there, but the linebacker group is healthy. The secondary is very healthy. So a lot of positives for an Eagles defense that's been excellent this season. Very much a playoff level, a contending level defense. They're 9th in the NFL, giving up 20.8 points per game, but given all the injuries they've suffered this season, I think that number, if they'd been healthy, would be far, far better. So a decent amount of good news there for the Eagles on the injury report. We'll see what they can do here. They're going on the road to take on a solid opponent in the Los Angeles Chargers, who are 8-4 on the season. They're fresh off a 31-14 walkover win there against the Raiders. Okay, it was the Raiders. I'm not throwing you a parade for that, but they need to keep winning these games. They're a couple games back of Denver there in the AFC West. They're a little bit banged up, although they are getting healthy. Hampton, coming back to play for this game. That's what's being, reported, so it seems like that's actually going to be happening. We'll see what they can do here against the Eagles. Now, obviously, we expect their stats to all look very, very good in our little recap here we're about to do of their win over the Raiders. I mean, Herbert was good. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 151 yards. Didn't ask him to do too much. He is dealing with that hand injury, though. That's something to keep an eye on. The running game looked very, very potent, and that's what the Chargers are going to be banking on in this one. They're going to be hoping that they can just run the ball like crazy in this matchup. Won't have to put too much pressure there on Herbert, who's playing with one hand, and that can get them the win. We'll see. It looked good last week. They had 192 yards on the ground and 2 rushing touchdowns, and theoretically, they're getting better. We'll see if that actually comes into play in this one, see how that plays out. We are looking at McConkey here, not having had a great week last week. I mean, caught 4 out of 6 targets for 39 yards and a touchdown, but only 39 receiving yards isn't amazing. Keenan Allen actually had a good day, catching 4 out of his 5 targets for 30 yards. We'll be talking about him when it comes time to look at some player props for this game for sure. Now, defensively having a great day against the Raiders. Cool, but it was the Raiders. They end up only allowing 14 points, giving up a couple passing touchdowns and 1 interception there to Geno Smith. Also sacked him 5 times, but that's not looking that special. They did shut down the run, but let's keep in mind that was against the Raiders, so let's not freak out too much. They slowed down Brock Bowers, but did give up 2 touchdown passes to him, and he caught all 4 of his targets, so maybe slowed down is a little bit generous. Overall, not a bad day for the Chargers, and over the course of the season, they've obviously been pretty solid defensively, 11th in the NFL, giving up 21 points per game. Now, their strength of schedule, when you look back, especially compared to the Eagles' strength of schedule, is not the same. Obviously, it's a lot easier here for the Chargers. I mean, over their last, 5 games? 5 games at least, they faced the Vikings, Titans, Steelers, Jaguars, and Raiders. Their best win of the entire season. They beat the Chiefs to open the year. They beat the Broncos once. Other than that, they really haven't beaten a good team this season, so that is a bit concerning. Their injury report, Herbert is officially listed as questionable. I do fully expect him to play in this game, but his left hand is messed up. So we'll see. Obviously, I think that could be a problem. It is officially a fractured hand. That's a little bit brutal. We'll see what goes on. He's a little bit limited. He's being handed the ball. Taking snaps can be a little bit tricky. You need both hands for that. So we'll see how things go for Herbert. A broken hand is a hell of a thing to play through, so I'm impressed, but also a little bit worried. They are apparently going to have Omarion Hampton back for this game. We'll see if that's a big upgrade. They are going to be looking to run the ball. I think that is a certainty here. McConkey's healthy and ready to go, and the offensive line is also healthy and ready to go. Defensively, obviously they're missing a lot of guys for the season at this point, but they are technically fully healthy there on defense. So we'll see what they can do to slow down the Eagles, who haven't been like the craziest offensive team this season. So the health edge has to go at least a little bit here to the Chargers in this game. So looking at the numbers, it might be a little bit shocking to see the Chargers getting 2.5 points. I do think that's the books telling us a little bit of something there. We've got a total of 41.5 in this game. The Eagles, they are 7-5 against the spread this season. They are 4-2 against the spread this season on the road, and they are 7-5 to the under. The Chargers are 5-6-1 against the spread this year. They're 3-2-1 against the spread at home, and they're a 500 over/under team. Guys, I'm going to be taking the Eagles here at -2.5. Philly is getting healthy, especially on defense. We don't like backing Herbert against good teams. That's not really his MO this season. He struggled, or just in his career, struggles against the really good defenses, is amazing against the bad ones. I fully expected the banged up offensive line here for the Chargers. I know they look healthy given who's listed as ready to go right now, but this is not the offensive line they were imagining coming into this season, so that's not great. I do think with the Eagles defense being pretty healthy, obviously missing a starting defensive lineman isn't great, but I do do definitely think this is a spot we want to back the Eagles here at anything under a field goal. In terms of the total here, which is 41.5, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the under in this game. And the reason for that is both teams are going to want to be running the ball. The Eagles have been playing some relatively low-scoring games here lately, very low-scoring games against the Packers and Lions. A little bit higher scoring, but only 45 total points against the Cowboys. Like, that's not that much. And 39 total points there against the Bears. The Chargers, it's a little bit harder to, gauge much from what they've been doing recently because they've been playing teams that are so bad. But even in their game against the Raiders, it was a blowout win. There were only 45 total points scored. So we got two decent defenses going against each other. I think we see a low scoring game in this one. I've also got some player props that I like for this game. And first up, I'll take Saquon Barkley under 69.5 rushing yards here at -113. I don't love fading one of the best running backs in recent memory. I think we have to do it in this spot, though, just because of the way he's being used this season in general. He hasn't had that much success, hasn't had bonkers numbers like we saw a year ago. The Chargers defense has been relatively good, and I think they'll slow down the run enough in this game, at least to keep Saquon to probably around the 50-55 rushing yards, regardless of what the result is in this game. I also like Keenan Allen here over 36.5 receiving yards at -114. He's been over this number 7 of his last 10 games, and I do think the Chargers are going to need to be throwing the ball here at least some amount. Allen is a good pass-catching option that the defense might not be keying on as much as they are on guys like McConkey or whatever, so I do think Keenan Allen could fly under the radar here, and getting to 40 receiving yards isn't that huge of an ask. A big underdog prop that I like a good amount in this one, and on such a short day, this could end up being our dog of the day. I like Jalen Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns at +172. Obviously a fantastic price. He threw a couple of touchdown passes there against the Bears. I do think the Eagles are going to be leaning more towards the pass than towards the run, so getting this crazy price on a pretty gettable sounding prop definitely feels like it has some value to me, especially on a day we're only going to have 4 games overall to look at. I also like Devonta Smith here over 55.5 receiving yards at -114. Smith has been over this number 3 of his last 5 games. I think we're going to see a good game from him in this one. Something positive in the passing game. He wasn't amazing last week against Chicago, so I think, there's a potential for a bounce back in this one and for him to get to around, 70 or 80 receiving yards. Another prop I think has some very decent value is Herbert here, under 31.5 passing attempts at -104. He's banged up. He's only been over this number 1 time in the last 5 games. He was barely over against the Steelers in that game. With the running back room healthy now for the Chargers, I fully expect them to concentrate on the running game. And if they can find success on the ground, they just won't have Herbert do too much in the passing game. Also, you're never rooting for somebody to get hurt, but there's always the potential that something happens, that hand gets destroyed even worse, and he just has to come out of the game. So we'll see if anything, any of those could make this prop end up cashing. And last but not least, I like Jalen Hurts here over 195.5 passing yards at -115. Like I said, I do think the Eagles are going to be continuing to move the ball through the air a decent amount. I do think it's been a mistake overall to change things up from what they were doing last season in terms of offensive scheme/game plan, but I think going against the Chargers, we're going to see them throwing the ball a good amount, unless Saquon just goes nuts, which is obviously not what we're projecting to happen. So I do think taking the over on Hurts' passing yards, just getting to 200 passing yards, isn't that crazy. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. We've gone on a very hot run over there on the NHL side recently, so that's been something you definitely want to take advantage of. It does look like we're going to have a little bit of a letdown, nothing too insane, but a little bit of bad luck here on the NFL slate this week, or well, not this week, but here on Sunday. So that's a little bit of a bad look after we had such a great week 13 over there on Sunday, going 5-2 on the premium NFL plays. So maybe a little bit of a letdown here, but definitely Monday and a full week of great action across the board. Tons of college basketball, tons of NBA. We've got NBA Cup stuff coming up this week, so it's going to be a very, very good time to get over there and get in on the action as a premium member at StumpTheSpread.com. This is one of the best times of the year to sign up, guys. It's just so many sports going on right now. You're getting so much bang for your buck every single day. Lots and lots of picks to choose from over there in the premium section. So definitely want to make sure you're getting over to StumpTheSpread.com and taking advantage of that. You also want to go over there and get in on all the free stuff we offer. We've got free picks posted over there every single day under the free picks tab. They've actually been running pretty hot here recently. We also have our free to use bet size calculator, but maybe most importantly, you got to get over there and get on that free email newsletter. It's a fantastic resource. It actually gives you access for free to what a lot of our top handicappers are thinking. Definitely stuff ended up in there from the NHL handicapper stuff ends up in there all the time from the college basketball side of things. NBA every once in a while. NFL, huge write-ups every single weekend. Tons of NFL touchdown props in those emails. Crazy parlays. There was some wild long shot parlay that got thrown in there this week. It's just a fantastic resource, and there's tons of information on niche sports betting too whenever we have the opportunity. Golf, NASCAR, WNBA was a big one. Obviously that's not going on right now, but tons and tons of great information in those emails. You definitely got to get over and get in the mix on those. It's just a fantastic resource, and it's absolutely free, and it's very easy to sign up. You just go to stumpthespread.com either by clicking the link down in the description or just typing stumpthespread.com into your browser of choice. You can get over there, and it's very easy to sign up. There's a little green login button in the top right-hand corner. You click that. All they're going to ask you for to set up a free account is your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day with all that great information. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, guys, click that little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos that they get your name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. We do a members-only giveaway here every single Monday. Hopefully, if we can get up to enough channel members, we'll be doing one of those every couple days or every day. Who knows? That would be incredible if we could do a giveaway on every single video. That would be completely, absolutely nuts. I would love that. But definitely want to get in on those giveaways, and we do one every single Monday. And if you're paying attention, this is a Monday, so you're about to see exactly how these giveaways work. Basically, what happens is we put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel. You're about to see it pop up right now. We click this button, it spins the wheel, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. And it looks like this week's winner is going to be 4Dewey4. 4Dewey4, let us know that you see down there in the comments. Let us know down in the comments that you see that you've won this giveaway. We'll get that hoodie printed up and out to you. It can be to you in as little as 7 or 8 days. It's up to like 8 potential days now, since I guess something to do with the holiday season. It would be my assumption. But love doing these giveaways, guys. Do one every single week. You can also purchase these Stump the Spread hoodies. You can just go over to stumpthespread.com, go to the shop tab, and we have these Stump the Spread hoodies available for purchase. They're around $50, I believe, and shipping is free. So definitely get in on that. Very excited to be able to offer those hoodies finally for sale. But now, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. We've got the whole NBA slate to cover, so let's go ahead and get after it. First up, we're going to be looking at the Sacramento Kings as they go on the road here to take on the Indiana Pacers. Now, these are very, very early lines. These could change quite a bit. I'll try to give you a spread of what I think is, a possible or what's a good bet on these, even if the line does move a good amount. So let's get after it. First up, we're going to be looking at the Sacramento Kings here. They come into this game fresh off a kind of rare win. They are 6-17 on the season. They managed to take down the Miami Heat 127-111. I'll be honest, it did kind of feel like some of these guys were auditioning to potentially end up, coming and playing in Miami, and some pretty good stuff out there, especially from Zach LaVine. He went absolutely nuts, played 39 minutes, scored 42 points, 8 of 13 from 3, 12 of 24 from the field in general, had 5 boards, 1 assist, not a lot of other stats, but was a plus 15 out there. DeMar DeRozan played pretty well. Also, he played 40 minutes, had 13 points, so nothing too crazy, but was a plus 21. We liked what we saw off the bench from Precious Achiuwa. Also liked what we saw from Clifford off the pine. He made 7 out of his 8 shots and 1 out of 1 from 3. As a team, Sacramento shot 42% from 3, so it might be a little bit of a big ask for this team to potentially replicate any of that, but it was a very, very good showing there from the Kings, getting a rare win against a pretty good opponent. They'll be trying to replicate some of this going forward. I don't know if this is a team that's really looking to win games this season necessarily, but I know there's a lot of guys on this team would absolutely be thrilled to get out of there and get to somewhere they could be, a little bit more productive and have a little bit more, potentially going for themselves. Because right now playing for the Sacramento Kings has to feel like playing in hell. Like it just can't be good. Can't be good. Malik Monk actually had a terrible day, which is a pretty rare occurrence for him. He's definitely somebody I wish that the Golden State Warriors would have picked up in the offseason when they had the chance, but apparently they didn't want him. The Kings come into this game relatively healthy. Dennis Schroeder still going to be missing time dealing with that hip issue, but other than that, everybody's ready to go. Westbrook, LaVine, DeRozan, Murray, Renaud, all ready to go there. The whole starting lineup rested and ready. So we'll see what they can do here. Heading to Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Pacers have been, pretty bad this year, as you'd have always thought. When Halliburton went down with that Achilles injury, it was pretty bleak because not only did that kill their chance there in Game 7, but it seemed like it also probably killed the Pacers' chances to have a competitive season here this year. Although, coming into the year, there was some hope that some guys would be able to step up and make this an actual, competitive team. And Siakam's been amazing. He's coming off a 36-point game there against the Bulls. He played great, 13 of 24 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. As a team, they shot 46% from long range in that win. Obviously, obviously it's against kind of the skeleton crew there for the Bulls, who've been very banged up, but a very, very good day out there. Nemhard played really, really well. Mathurin played well, and those two have not been very consistent this year. TJ McConnell, actually, a kind of down game off the bench from him. Ethan Thompson leading the bench and scoring with 11 points. He was somehow a plus 25 in this game. That's pretty bonkers to see. Overall, just a very good game from the Pacers. Not a team with a lot of aspirations this year. I don't think they're a team that's looking to be very, not going to be making a lot of moves there at the trade deadline. I think they're just looking to get through this season, and then next year, when Halliburton's back and hopefully, 100%, they can just make another run at things. Now, coming into this game, we do see Ben Shepherd is listed on the injury report. He's going to be out dealing with that calf injury. Apparently, it's not going to be long-term, but why would you rush him back? Also, he doesn't really move the needle that much for me. If this results in Garrison Matthews, maybe Johnny Furphy, Ethan Thompson getting more run, I think that's all totally fine, totally no big deal. So looking at the numbers that are being reported right now for this game, the Pacers are listed as 2.5-point favorites. We'll see if that changes much. We've got a total of 232.5. The Kings are 6-7 against the spread on the road. They're 2-3 against spread after a win. The Pacers are 7-5 against spread at home. They are 3-1 against the spread themselves, coming off of a win. So not a big letdown usually for the Pacers. Now, just based on these numbers, I'm going to be leaning slightly towards the Pacers here, playing at home against the Sacramento Kings team that's coming off a win. I don't think it's a bad spot at all to be, thinking about backing the Pacers, but nothing from this NBA slate is going to go into the pinned comment until we get confirmation on some, get some real actual numbers out there. So that may happen tonight. That may happen, in the morning. We'll just have to see. So by night, I mean, that could, potentially happen late Sunday night or early-ish Monday morning or middle of the day Monday. So just keep an eye on that pinned comment. This is one of the rare times I actually will be adding stuff in there later, and that might be something that changes a lot more here down the stretch, guys. We'll have to wait and see. But next up, we're going to be with the Phoenix Suns as they go on the road here to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is the lone nationally televised game of the day. It's going to be over there on Peacock. The Suns, they've been an interesting team this year. They've had their struggles recently dealing with some injuries, but they're 13-10 on the year. They're fresh off a 117-98 loss there in Houston, which obviously this was not the anywhere close to 100% Suns. I mean, Dylan Brooks trying to lead the way there. He had 23 points, took 24 shots. Grayson Allen, he's struggling since coming off injury. That's a little bit unfortunate because he was playing great. Colin Gillespie, I don't think this guy's really suited to be, a second, maybe, a 1A or 1B kind of option there in terms of scoring for an NBA team in a starting role. Off the bench, I think he can be a star. So once we get him back to a bench role, once we get guys like, once we get Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker playing, together the way they should be, I think the Suns team can get right back after like what they were doing before. Also, they got beat by 19 points in this game. They shot 5 of 36 from 3, just couldn't throw in the ocean. So they could have played much, much better in this game, even with the guys they had out there, and they were facing a very, very good Rockets team. So I don't think this loss is really too terrible of a thing here for the Suns. What we got to keep an eye on for them right now is the injury report. We also have the NBA Cup here looming, so definitely things for them to be taken into account. Now, Devin Booker, he comes into this game probably going to miss it. He definitely, we'll see. Dealing with that groin issue, they're probably not going to be rushing him back. We'll see. It does appear that it's up in the air, but everybody else should be healthy and ready to go for this one. So, vaguely close to the full squad as they head to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves, who are 15-8 this year. They've been playing some of their best ball of the season recently. They've won 5 in a row, taking down the Clippers, 2 wins against the Pelicans, one of which went into overtime, I will say, and both of which were against the spread losses. They beat the Spurs and they beat the Celtics. Now, in that 109-106, very close win there over the Clippers, some weirdness ensuing there for the Timberwolves. You love to see Julius Randle, I guess, have 24 points, but he was 6 of 15 from the field and 1 of 4 from 3, did most of his damage at the free throw line. Jaden McDaniels actually led the team in scoring with 27 points. He was 3 of 3 from long range. He made 10 out of his 13 shots overall, played great there offensively. Didn't have the rebounding or assist numbers that we're used to seeing from him, though. Rudy Gobert, 4 points in 33 minutes, 4.7 boards. Sounds like a max player to me, right? Right? No, not to me. But DiVincenzo, another bad night for him, not very productive. But Ant, 37 minutes, 15 points, 3 of 11 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. That's what was really bothering us about this game. Naz Reid continues to play well off the bench, 19 points from him. Overall, they find a way to win, but playing a 3-point game against the Clippers, who aren't very good, isn't exactly a great look here for the Timberwolves. And we'll see what happens in this one. Looking at their injury report, they appear fully healthy for this game, but that Anthony Edwards game was definitely a head scratcher. So you never know. All kinds of different things can cause him to have, an off day. Did have some early foul trouble, but I do think we'll see him get back after it. I think this could be a pretty good night to maybe back some overs there on Anthony Edwards. I think him and Dylan Brooks could have a little get a little thing going, and I think that could really motivate Edwards to pop off, maybe take too many shots, I don't know. But I do think this is probably a good spot to take some Anthony Edwards overs here in a bounce back situation. But looking at the numbers, guys, the Timberwolves are 10.5 point favorites right now. This is like an opening number. We've got a total of 229.5. The Suns are 6-5 against spread on the road, 6-3 against the spread coming off a loss. The Timberwolves are 4-7 against spread at home. They are 4-10 against spread after a win. Given those numbers, and if we're really getting double-digit points here on the Suns, we're gonna have to take Phoenix here. But like I said, guys, keep an eye on that pinned comment. None of these NBA players are going to be added in until either midday here on Monday or late night there on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. But need some more realistic, or maybe not realistic, but need some more concrete numbers to go with before we get too involved here. Last but not least, guys, we're looking at the San Antonio Spurs heading to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. The Spurs are fresh off a tough 130-117 loss there in Cleveland, but they've been pretty good. They're 15-7. The whole Wembanyama injury thing we thought could really derail things has not really messed them up, not slowed them down too much. We continue to like what we're seeing from De'Aaron Fox. He didn't have the most efficient night, but 25 points in 33 minutes, 9 of 19 from the field, and 2 of 7 from 3 is not that bad. It was a monster performance there from Devin Vassell. He had 28 points in 30 minutes and shot 50% from the field and 7 of 13 from 3. So a lot of good stuff there. Keldon Johnson continues to play well off the bench. Sohan was okay. He had 10 points. They shot 15 of 43 from 3, which is okay, but the problem was they just got obliterated there on the boards. A problem that Wemby will solve when he comes back. They got out rebounded by 10. I don't see that happening ever with Wembanyama on the floor. So we'll see when he eventually gets healthy, but overall the problem was they couldn't hang with the Cavaliers there on the boards. Didn't have a lot of great answers there from Donovan Mitchell, although they did slow him down, and Jalen Tyson was really a problem. So we'll see what the Spurs can do in this one. Obviously health, it continues to be a big concern for them. And Castle and Wembanyama still on the injury report. We see Luke Cornett on the injury report as well. And these are all very important pieces, obviously Wemby being the most important one, but Castle with his hip issue is officially questionable to play in this game. He hasn't played since November 16th. Sounds like he's getting very, very close to making his way back. Wembanyama was a full participant in Sunday's practice. That's something to keep a very close eye on for this game. It appears he could be back here anytime. Obviously, they're going to be very, very cautious there with the calf strain. You don't want him to blow his Achilles, but sounds like it could be happening. It could be happening. So keep a close eye here on the Wemby's injury status, his availability, and Luke Cornett. He's officially questionable for this game with an ankle issue. He did play against Orlando back on December 3rd. I don't think he's going to be missing a ton of time, but keep a close eye. Keep a close eye on when Luke Cornett could potentially be making his return. Now, the Spurs are going on the road to take on arguably one of the worst teams in the NBA. The New Orleans Pelicans are 3-21 on the season. They're coming off a 119-101 loss there in Brooklyn their last time out, and not a lot of things went right. Trey Murphy led the team with 23 points. They didn't have any answers there for Michael Porter Jr., who put up a 35-piece against them, but yeah, Trey Murphy's really just doing everything he can to try and keep his team's head above water. His assist numbers, his rebounding numbers are going up. He's still scoring the ball, shooting the ball well. Sadiq Bey getting lots of minutes now with Zion out. Jeremiah Fears as well, but Fears had a terrible shooting night there against Brooklyn. Sadiq Bey did put up 18 points, so he played well, but his bench is not great at times. Jose Alvarado brings the energy, but that's about all he brings. And it was a bleak night out there for the Pelicans in general. Thought they could keep that game close, and it was not very close. So we'll see who they have available. Obviously, Zion's going to be missing a ton of time. Herbert Jones sounds like he is, he didn't play there against the Nets, obviously. The last time he played was back on November 21st against Dallas. When is he going to be back? We'll just have to wait and see. A sprained right calf, that's the kind of thing that you are very cautious against, especially a very tanking team like the Pelicans are, and they're obviously not rushing Jordan Poole back at all. He didn't play there against Brooklyn, and I'd be a little bit surprised to see him play in this one, but it's not impossible. Just keep an eye there on that injury report. Now, looking at the numbers, the Pelicans are getting 8.5 points, on these early numbers. We had a total of 237.5. The Spurs are 4-6-1 against spread on the road, 4-2 against spread after a loss. New Orleans 7-5-1 against spread at home, 11-8-1 against spread after a loss. I am leaning just a bit here towards the Spurs. minus 8.5. That's kind of a lot of points. We need to see who's going to be available for them in this game, but I don't think it's a terrible spot to back them in a bounce back spot coming off a game. I'm sure they feel like they should have found a way to win and just couldn't because they couldn't hang tough on the board. So yeah, I do like the Spurs here at anything under double digits probably, but once again, keep an eye on that injury report, keep an eye on that pinned comment. It's going to be seeing some games added in there. Like all of our NFL Monday Night Football stuff's going to go in there. That's what's going to be in there initially, and then we're going to be adding in whatever we like from the NBA slate later Sunday night or Monday morning. That's all the games we have here for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you click the link on the description to check out stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. Check out the free picks over there. Check out all the premium stuff we offer. It's a great time to jump in there as a premium member over at stumpthespread.com. Check out the shop over there if you're interested in getting a hoodie. We finally have hoodies for sale over there. And yeah, definitely make sure you're getting on that email list, guys. It's a fantastic resource. We'll see you all right back here again tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.